Nigeria was a powerful and sophisticated state. It thrived for centuries before European contact. Known for its impressive art and culture, Benin was a major center of trade. Its skilled artisans produced exquisite works in bronze, ivory, and wood. The Benin bronzes, intricate castings depicting the royal court and important events, were particularly renowned. These artifacts reflected the kingdom's wealth and the Oba's, or king's, power. They also served as vital historical records. By the late 19th century, European powers, driven by imperial ambitions, sought to expand their control over Africa. The British, with their growing presence in West Africa, turned their attention to Benin. They were interested in its resources, particularly palm oil, and saw the kingdom as an obstacle to their economic and political goals. Despite initial attempts at peaceful negotiation, tensions grew between the British and the Benin Kingdom. The British, accustomed to imposing their will on weaker states, underestimated the kingdom's resolve to maintain its independence. Oba Ovonramwen, the reigning king, found himself caught between preserving his kingdom's sovereignty and appeasing the increasingly assertive British. He tried to control trade through Benin City, which the British saw as an infringement on their interests. Misunderstandings and mistrust on both sides set the stage for a tragic clash. The escalating tensions culminated in a fateful event that would forever alter the fate of the Benin Kingdom. The Benin Expedition of 1897 marked a pivotal moment in the history of the Benin Kingdom. As British forces prepared to advance, the kingdom braced for an inevitable conflict. The spark that ignited the inferno was a punitive expedition ostensibly launched in response to the killing of a British delegation. This delegation, led by Acting Consul General James Phillips, was ambushed near Benin City. The British saw this as an affront that could not go unpunished. Determined to subdue Benin, the British assembled a formidable military force. The expedition was well equipped and heavily armed, a stark contrast to the traditional weapons of the Benin warriors. The clash was brutal and swift, with the British forces overwhelming the defenders. Benin City, once a thriving center of culture and power, was set ablaze. The destruction was thorough, with many of the city's treasures looted or destroyed. The British victory was decisive, but it came at a great cost to the Benin Kingdom. The Oba, Ovonramwen, was captured and later exiled. The kingdom's political structure was dismantled and its cultural heritage was scattered. The punitive expedition had achieved its goal, but it left a legacy of loss and devastation. The aftermath of the Benin expedition saw the dispersal of the kingdom's treasures. The Benin bronzes, once symbols of royal authority and historical records, became spoils of war. They were taken to Europe, where they were displayed in museums and private collections. These artifacts, prized for their artistic excellence, became symbols of colonial conquest. The looting of Benin's treasures sparked debates about cultural heritage and the ethics of colonialism. Scholars and activists began to question the legitimacy of holding these artifacts outside their place of origin. The Benin bronzes in particular became focal points in discussions about restitution and the right of cultures to reclaim their heritage. The legacy of the Benin bronzes is complex. They are admired for their craftsmanship and historical significance, but they also serve as reminders of a painful past. The journey of these artifacts from Benin to Europe and their eventual display in museums highlights the enduring impact of colonialism on cultural heritage. In the 21st century, the Benin bronzes have taken on new significance. As global awareness of historical injustices grows, there is increasing pressure to return these artifacts to their rightful home. Calls for restitution have gained momentum, with governments and institutions acknowledging the importance of cultural heritage. Efforts to repatriate the Benin bronzes have seen some success. Museums in Europe and North America have begun to return pieces to Nigeria, recognizing the moral imperative to restore cultural property. These actions are part of a broader movement to address the legacies of colonialism and promote cultural reconciliation. The return of the Benin bronzes is more than just a transfer of objects. It represents a recognition of the resilience and enduring spirit of the Benin people. As these artifacts make their way back to Nigeria, they bring with them a sense of justice and the promise of renewed cultural pride. The story of the Benin bronzes continues to unfold, reflecting the ongoing journey toward healing and restoration.